This video is about Revelations 13:18, and the different translations of it. This has been on my mind for quite some time. Most of the readers of the English King James Version or New King James Version might not notice the slight differences in translation. However, translations in other languages like German by Martin Luther in the year 1545 show, in my opinion, an interesting difference. First, let's have a look at the King James Version, which says, "Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. The focus in this video will be on only one word, namely the verb, count. To my understanding, this is indicative of a mathematical operation, especially when the word number appears 3 times in this sentence. The New King James Version is as follows: "Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, his number is 666. So the word count is here replaced with the word calculate, which, in my opinion, is even more indicative of a mathematical operation. In other words, something has to be calculated, and this calculation is done by someone who has understanding. The result is wisdom, as described before here. So let's compare this to the German translation by Martin Luther in the year 1545. It says the following.
Hier ist Weisheit. Wer Verstand hat, der überlege die Zahl des Tiers, denn es ist eines Menschen Zahl, und seine Zahl ist 666.
The focus here is only on one word, namely Überlege. So let's see what this word means in German. In the Langenscheidt Dictionary, this word translates to consider, think over, give some thought, think about, work out, figure out. The impression I get here is that Luther is not thinking of a mathematical operation. Instead, the reader is to use his thought process in a different way, considering what this word means, rather than doing a mathematical calculation as described as a calculation in the New King James Version. If Luther had wanted to use a word corresponding to the English word, count, or calculate, he could easily have used the German word, berechne, or kalkuliere, but he didn't, and chose the German word corresponding to the English word, consider. Interestingly, the Finnish Bible translation, first printed in the year 1543, made by the Finn Mikael Agricola, who was a student of Martin Luther's in the German town of Wittenberg, uses the word laskekun, which translates to calculate in English. This difference is even more interesting as Agricola was a student under the supervision of Martin Luther, and yet he chose the word calculate instead, with Luther choosing the word Überlege, which means consider. It also shows, in my opinion, that Agricola was not blindly following Martin Luther, but rather thinking for himself when translating from Greek to Finnish. So the result of reading these 4 Bible versions, King James, New King James, Martin Luther 1545, and Agricola 1543, is that you in English have the words count or calculate, which are similar, and the German word Überlege, which means consider, and Agricola using the Finnish word laskekun, which means calculate. There are some opinions visible as to the possible dual character of the number, being on the one side a number in the Greek, and on the other side possibly having a meaning in the Arabic language. So counting or calculating the number would be one aspect of it, and considering the meaning of it as Martin Luther translates it, could be the other side. The Christian convert Walid Shubat, who is fluent in Arabic, has published some interesting theories on this issue. Also, the Codex Sinaiticus is available online. I will put the link in the description of this video. In any case, it is fascinating and rewarding to study different translations of Revelation 13:18 and other parts of the Bible. And, as stated in Daniel 12:4, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words, and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased."